So estimating's next generation here. You may have seen this before, but just for a brief overview here, Sage is got a next generation of estimating solution out here. And what that means is we're going to take what you have for your takeoff source, either from a model or from a set of plans, and we're going to bring that into what we call best-in-class solutions, Navisworks, Assemble, or Dimension. And from those best-in-class solutions, we're going to bring all that information into Bridge. So Bridge is that piece that ties it all together and brings it into Sage Estimating. We are going to take a look at Bridge today. We'll concentrate on Bridge and the features that we have there. And so it is that piece that brings the estimate, the takeoff information into the estimate, and we can also push information back, or we can drill down from the estimate back to the takeoff source through Bridge. So we have this kind of this two-way information flow, not only from the takeoff source through Bridge to the estimate, but from the estimate back through Bridge to the takeoff source. And so we have that two-way bi-directional data flow. We are going to look at this data flow today. If you were more interested in the BIM side of things, I do have a webinar next week on BIM. Glad to talk to you there about that. But this is what we're going to do today, from Dimension to Bridge to Estimating. And so that's what we will look at. And so, oh, before I do this, we are talking about next generation takeoff and estimating with this round trip dynamic integration. Nobody else has this. We are, as far as we know, we're the only one that has a BIM related, this BIM related two-directional flow and 2D directional data flow. You can get the product and start working today, and I'll show you that here in just a second. And nobody in the market has what we have today, and we're making great strides in this. So just want to throw that out there. Let's do this, and let's get to the demo. And so let's see what it actually looks like. So I'm going to start in eTakeoff Dimension. So this is the 2D takeoff tool that we have, that Sage has. And I've got obviously a very simple project here. It's a landscape plan, as if I'm a landscape contractor. And let's say, for the sake of example here, that I just bought the product today. I don't have anything. All of this over here on the left, I have my drawing list. Over here on the left also, I have my traces and things, and what I would have is this templates. I would have this, these would not be here, but I would have the templates. But basically I would have this area, count, length, and perimeter traces here. And so I would use those to start and creating traces. And so what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to, let's do these 4 trees here. Let's count these trees. So what I want to do is come up here to the ribbon bar, and I want to click on this count, and I'm going to call it a tree, and I want it to be, what do I want the symbol for this tree to look like? It can be a circle, it can be a, let's do square, and just for fun, it'll be, it's a tree, let's make it green. And there's no lines. We're not going to worry about the fill. It's going to look like this. And so I'm going to click OK. And it adds that tree to my standard list. And so I've created a trace, and I'll be able to use that trace now and next job, next week, next month, next year, and I'll be able to share that trace with other people. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to just start counting the trees. So I click here and here and here and here. And I have counted those trees. You can see over here on the right, I've got a tree. I could come in here. Let's say, for example, that I wanted to change the description. That's called a SH tree, for whatever SH means. And so now I know that I've got an SH tree, and I could use that. So I can come over. I've got that one over here. I could come over here, and I could use that same designation over here. I've got all these RMs. I think those are red maples. So I could count these, and I could go bing, bing, and that, and that. Enter, and I'm going to change the description to RM. Okay, so I can create. You all, if you've used Bridge before, you know what I'm doing is, yeah, pretty basic, whatever. So I've got that, And what I want to do too is I want to show you another thing that we can do here. Basically, I want to do trees where I'm going to select at takeoff. And blew that a little bit, but let's just go in here and let's say that these are the, over here, I've got these FPs. Let's go like this and this, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so you can see that I've got some questions over here. That's coming from the extension for this type of tree. And I can say that these are deciduous trees. It's an FP. And is tree staking required? I don't care about that. So now I see this here. All right, so I've got the trees. So I can use this selected takeoff, and I'll show you how that works in just a second. And so what I can do now is just to show you now, that's enough takeoff. You know how to do takeoff in eTakeoff. So what I want to do now is go to bridge. And so I'm going to go here and I've got bridge already started and I've created the bridge. And so what I can do here is I can take these trees and I can get them into the system. And so I can take these. These are the green ones that we just created. And where am I going to put them? Well, I don't have those assigned to an assembly or an item yet. What I am going to do is assign them here, and I'm going to go down here to 3200, and I've got trees right here. Okay? Now I could map this tree to a particular tree that I have here, or what I can do, and this is new, I can drag this tree mapping to the phase and drop it. And now you'll see down here. Well, here, we'll see that I got the quantity over here, so I'm going to just map this quantity here like this. I can map other things if I had the different things that I could map to the WBS codes down here, so different variables and values, so I could map those as well. And I could say, oh, here, let's see the, where we are here. There's the estimator, so I could just do this, and I'll put this as the location is the drawing description. So I'll do that. Now, you'll see here in the item code, it's got this vertical bar. I can do a couple things here. That's the symbol for a one-time item. If I want to, let's say I want to change this, and I just want to say it's a deciduous tree. I can change the description. I can change this unit of measure. I don't need to, but I can do that, and I can create a one-time item that I would only use in this estimate by just clicking the pass button and sending it over, just like you've done before. What I can do now that's new is I can come in here to the item code, and I can say, well, here's my list of items in this phase, 32, 93, 43. I can say, well, you know what? I don't have an item 12. So I'm just going to enter in 12 here. Hit enter. And now I'm going to run the pass. Oh, I've mapped it wrong here. Let's see. I don't need 16. I only need 4 because I mapped it wrong here. But now notice that if I go ahead and send that to the estimate, it says there's the deciduous tree created in that phase. So you can create an item for your database in Takeoff. So that's pretty powerful. Allows you to start. This is what you can do. You can start creating things right out of the gate and creating your database right away. Now that's manual takeoff. Let's look here quick at automatic takeoff. And I've got this tree. I've got this tree selected takeoff. And if I select, I want to process this one, and I say, go ahead and send that one to run the pass. There's 6 of them. It brings up this. So now it says, okay, I'm going to open it up at the phase that is assigned to this item. In this case, 3294, 4305 here. But I can search. So I'm going to search for. You can see there's some crepe myrtles and oaks. Let's just say I want to search for oak. Now here's all my oaks, and so I can say it's that one. Sure, we'll continue. And I can then send that to the estimate. Here's my RM tree. Now what I can do here that's kind of interesting, what I've done here is I've got this item here, and I've got this description. And so I can take this description now, and I can map this to an assembly name. So I can take this, and I can drag it up here. Oh, why can't I do that? I can take this description and map it to the assembly name, and I don't have that to an assembly, so let's take off the items. Now I don't have any items. Oh, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to do this again so we can see what's going on here. Select a takeoff, and I'm going to just count some trees out here in the middle. And I'm going to say that the plant type is an evergreen tree, and it's a DF. And I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to come back to bridge, and I'm going to refresh the list. And I have this. So now I've got this here, and let's see if this will work this time. I can take this up here and map this, and it says, do you want to append or replace the assembly name? I'm going to append it, click OK, and now it says trees, select a takeoff, DF. So you can start to map these kinds of things, and this is really cool. I'll show you another example of this here in a bit. So you can start to really identify where a particular assembly was done. And so then you can, again, run the pass and select the item. And for some reason, I like crepe myrtles today, and I can send that to the estimate. All right. So let's go to the estimate here real quickly, and we can see that we have there's our deciduous trees. We've got the 6 and the 4. This one is the incomplete one because I don't have any pricing in it. We can just say it's $100 each, and the material price is $150. And now my item is complete, and I have the planting ready to go for these trees here. Again, we'll look at more detail in Sage estimating here in just a minute, but that's what I wanted to show you for when you're first starting out. You can create your items from the takeoff and push them right into your estimate. All right, let's do this. I'm going to switch projects on you, and I'm going to open up a different project, this GC project. And so here, if you've seen my demos before, you've seen this project. And so what I want to show you here is down here at the bottom, I've got some takeoff done here with the bolded sheets. And so I'm going to turn off there. There we go, just the takeoff sheet. So I've got the HVAC. And what I did for this HVAC is, in this case, I just want a plug number for the HVAC based on square footage. So I've got the first floor, I've got the second floor, and I've got the third floor. And I've also got, I could do electrical and plumbing as well if I wanted to, from this same square footage. Now you would have a way of doing it. I did it using this trace right here, this floor area trace. I just traced the HVAC plans. You could trace the HVAC or the electrical or the mechanical or the plumbing, whatever you wanted to do. But what I'm going to show you here is that you only need to create one trace and map it to multiple assemblies or multiple items. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to start bridge. I am going to go view and bridge, but this time I've got another bridge already started, and that's this one. Notice now that my list of assemblies and items change, and if I go here, I've got all my assemblies here. So what I want to do is I want to take this first floor, and I just want to take this one mapping and I want to map it several places. So I've got several places here. So I've got mechanic, plumbing by sub, HVAC by sub, and electrical by sub. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to drop it like that. Yes. And the square foot, I'm going to go ahead and map that like that. I'm going to map the, let's see, this is an alternate, it's the base bid. The system, let's go over here to the system, is MEP. Now, this is another place where I can say, you know what, I want to map the map a variable here to the assembly name. So I can say, I want to take this description and map it up here. Drag and drop, append it, okay. So now I'm going to see plumbing by square foot first floor. Now I'll also see the same thing for second floor. But what I want to do now is I want to take this same measurement and I'm going to map it to the HVAC. Assignment is already, oh, okay, I need to do this. And it gives me a quantity, and I'm going to send that to the estimate. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to map it to the HVAC. It's already been assigned. Do you sure you want to continue? Yes. And I'm going to, okay to continue? Yes. Again, I'm going to map the area, and I'm going to map the alternate and the floor and the system. And I'm going to also map the description up here, just like we did before. Append that. I could replace it. I like append because I want to see the name of the assembly. Click OK. Run the pass. Send to the estimate. I'm going to do this one thing one more time. You know the routine here. And so yes, and yes. Then I'm going to map this, and I'm going to map the system and the floor, the alternate, and the, yeah, we'll put the estimated created by. There we go there. All right. And again, I'm going to take this description and go up here. Append it. Okay. So I've just mapped one measurement to multiple assemblies. Okay. Pretty simple for what I'm doing there. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. So close this and go to the estimate. And we're going to open up the other estimate here. And come on, Sage. There we go. Now, if I look, this is phase item, right? I've got plumbing, HVAC, and electrical. If I look at assembly, I've got plumbing, HVAC, and electrical for the first floor. And why don't I see it for the second or third floor? Because I haven't sent them over yet. Let's close this and go back to Bridge and open this one. That's because I was on manual. Let's do automatic takeoff. And now if I scroll down here, all right. And all right, let's go ahead and send those over. 36 assignments. I think I know what I did wrong. Let me do this. Let me go back here to, bring this over here. All right, let's go here. Back to here. Let's do this one more time. I need to make sure that this is fully automatic. That was my problem. I didn't set that to fully automatic. I needed to do that. So that's one step that I forgot. I need to run the pass, send it to the estimate. And now let's close this and go to the estimate and see where we are. And here's my estimate over here. Close Bridge. And here is my grouping by assembly. And here is my, So I've got it. You do see that it appended that by it appended the location to the assembly name, and so I've got that. And if I had done it right with that automatic assignment, I would have the different floors in here as well. So that was my mistake. But I think you get the idea there, what you can do with it. Let's go back to Bridge here real quick. And one of the things you can do here is in Bridge, before we can manage our assignment history. And so here's all of our assignments that we've looked at. And so these are, we can come in here and manage these. We can export them. We can delete ones we don't like and all of that. But what we're looking at here is one of the new features is that I can come in here now and I can view the details of a mapping. And so I can bring up this. Now this is really handy. Before, you used to have to go through and map in the actual mapping part of Bridge there on that this main screen back here. But now you can map it here. And the handy thing is here, you're going to see all of the variables. So I see everything in this assembly, and I see the additional mappings here. I can see where things are mapped, and you can see down here where the description is mapped and the alternates are mapped, the colors match. But the advantage is up here, you see I've got is mastic required? And that's a yes/no question, right, from an Sage assembly. And then if you say yes, it asks you for square foot of coverage, or that you wouldn't have necessarily seen that second question in the old way of doing mappings. Now you do. You see all the questions, no matter whether they're controlled by display logic or not, in the assembly. And so you can remap things, you can delete mappings. I can come in here and delete the mapping, and then I could remap it if I wanted to, and then go from there. So you can map things as well. All right. Do I want to save changes? I am not going to save them. So you can map stuff here. Now let's go back here. I'm going to switch. I'm going to go to yet another project here in Takeoff, because I want to show you that in let's go here. There we go. I'm having a bad time this morning. All right, open. I'm project, and I'm going to open up the La Quinta presentation. All right, so this is my La Quinta presentation. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to start Bridge, and I'm going to go, do I want to create a bridge? I'm going to say yes, and it's going to say the name of the bridge is La Quinta presentation. I'm going to create yet another estimate. Quinta presentation, okay, and okay. Now I'm going to go right to Bridge. I'm not going to do any takeoff, because what I wanted to show you is you can, well, if I go to this fully automatic, before I had the choice, I could just go, hey, I'm just going to submit everything. Well, now I can submit partial. And I could just send, for example, these slab on grade, like that. And I could say, send those over. And it would just send those assignments over, not all of them. So you can partially select those. I can do the same thing with revisions. Before we had to manually process revisions. Now you can automatically process revisions, and you can pick and choose what you want to process and send them over automatically as well. So I showed you, so there's a couple things there that are pretty nice. Sometimes sending over everything all at once is a little nerve-wracking, so you can send over just what you want, even though it's set to fully automatic. Also, let's see here. I showed you one-time items. You can create one-time items like we did with the showed you with the tree. If you keep the code, if you keep the little bar code, then it traces it as a one-time item. I created an item called the tree with item number 12. Let's go here and let's close this and go to the estimate. And so I've got this estimate here. Now let's say that I am, let's go to assembly view here just because I kind of like that. And I've got all of these different assemblies. Let's say that for the sake of argument that I said this is now 300. So what I'm doing is changing a takeoff quantity in the estimate. It now does not match. Let me undo that, because what I need to do is to show you the demo here is I need to know that that number is 274.92. So I'm going to write that down, even though it'll tell us, but I'm going to change that to 300. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill down to bridge. And it's going to do that, and it's going to open up, and it's going to say this: estimating values have been modified in Sage after being generated from takeoff. What you want to do is modify the number in takeoff and then send it to the estimate. That's the best way to do it. But there's always chances with it that you can need to change it in the estimate, and so you can do that if you need to. You can see here is 300. It's highlighted in red. What I can do here, effectively what I've done is broken the link between estimating and takeoff. And so what I want to do is reestablish that link, so I can go back to the estimate, and I can go to the estimate was closed. Let's say, okay, yeah, that's fine. And so now there's the number that I changed. I'm going to enter in 274.92. And now if I drill down, I should not get that warning. Everything should be just fine, and we're back to where we started from. So that's a nice feature as well that kind of lets you have that flexibility, but still keeps you honest as well. So we've got one other thing I wanted to show you here in Bridge is the user ID. So we've got user ID here in Dimension that sets who the user is that's doing the takeoff. And so we have the same thing in Bridge now. So if I go to Settings and User Preferences, and I go to Display Options, I can apply User ID filter to Dimension assignments. If I do this and I click yes, then I only see the dimension assignments that I've done. If I leave it off like I have it now, then I see all assignments. So why would I care? I would care that if I am an estimator, maybe more of a junior estimator, I want to see just my assignments and send the ones that I'm familiar with from this project to the estimate. If I am the senior estimator and I am sending over all of the assignments, then I want to see everybody's. And so I can control that here with this checkbox, whether I see just my assignments or I see everybody's assignments. All right, so that is one other filter. And I wanted to show you this here, auto change options. I can append, this is what allows me to append text to assembly name. And this allows me to enter notes. And so I can enter in assembly notes when I do these changes. So those are a couple of other options. And so let's see. I think that's what I wanted to show you this morning. Just some of those new features that are coming out in Bridge. The Bridge will come out in a couple. It should be out real soon. It's supposed to be in the next week or two. So you'll be seeing these. If you have Bridge, then you'll be seeing an automatic push to you that's telling you to upgrade. Go for it. It's a pretty simple upgrade. Works pretty well for me. And so I've not had a problem with upgrading, and I've upgraded several times through the development process. One other thing I'd like to throw out is, remember where I mapped the description here up to the assembly name? I was working in 2D. That would be very handy working in 3D. If the architect has named a particular wall type, a particular name or something like that, then you could include that wall type on your estimate. Or you could even replace the assembly name with the wall description from the BIM model. So there's some interesting things you can do there as well with mapping in 3D. All right. Have a great rest of your day and hope to talk to you soon. Bye now.